The federal Head Start program provides free and low-cost early childcare for more than 12,000 kids across Wisconsin, including for many immigrant families. But new changes proposed by the Trump administration could remove limits to class sizes, eliminate developmental health screenings, and require all instruction to be in English. In a statement, Senator Tammy Baldwin said the proposed changes will gut the standards that keep children safe in Head Start programs and feed into the Trump administration's plan to weaken the program until it can be shut down. WUWM education reporter Catherine Kokel spoke about the proposed changes with Jenny Maurer, the executive director of Wisconsin's Head Start Association.
Critics from across the country and Head Start associations have said that this is a backdoor way of dismantling Head Start. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think I would agree that this move by the administration is really an attempt to dismantle what we know has worked and promotes quality and promotes those long-term outcomes for kids and families and really for our communities. There's a lot of rhetoric in this proposal about flexibility and about adding more children, giving more children access to Head Start. But I would really encourage everyone to look to what is in the standard and to what is in the budget. There's not any proposal to increase the funding for Head Start at this time. You can say flexibility up and down until the cows come home, but the reality is that flexibility comes on the backs of staff and children.
Now, there have been pieces of this proposed rulemaking that have been dropped. And so there was originally a new documentation standard that would have required programs to verify immigration status. That is no longer part of this proposed rule. But there are other pieces of this, like requiring instruction in English, that people are concerned about disproportionately impacting immigrant families. I'm wondering how people are thinking about the impact specifically to immigrant families and families with mixed immigration statuses as these proposed rules are coming forward.
Yeah, one of the things that you mentioned that is in this proposal is a requirement for all instruction to be in English. And, as I've talked about this proposal, I really want folks to think about what it's like to get a classroom of 3-year-olds ready to go outside in the winter. So one requirement this proposal has is a time requirement for physical education. Now, I'll put these two proposals together. First of all, if anyone's been to a Head Start classroom, they know there is tremendous amount of movement and physical activity happening. If you've met any child from the ages of 3 to 5 or as soon as they can walk through 5, there's constant movement. And programs are always trying and working to get kids outside, or if the weather is too bad, as it often is in Wisconsin, there's large gross motor rooms, so places where kids can play when it's snowy outside or it's too cold. Now, so thinking about that English only piece, I would just encourage folks to think about the practical realities that if you have a group of children, so in Western Wisconsin, in parts of Milwaukee, we have classrooms where kids are speaking different languages. If you have a classroom full of children that speak Spanish as their first language and you're trying to get their snow pants on and you're not able to speak to them in Spanish, that just doesn't work. And not only is it not practical to think about getting those kids snow pants on, it's also when we think about English language acquisition, there's really strong evidence that it's the combination of leveraging the child's home language that helps them to learn English as a second language. So I would really encourage us to push past the rhetoric that surrounds English only education as a requirement and to think about what the practical realities are. Again, for a classroom of 3-year-olds, you need to be able to communicate with them. So it's a ridiculous requirement, and it's not practical when you think of running a classroom with small children.
Jenny Maurer is the executive director of the Wisconsin Head Start Association. She spoke with WUWM education reporter Catherine Kokel. The public comment period for the proposed changes ends on October 6th.